You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy episode 704.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. The view from our side of the cockpit door, with your host, Captain Jeff, broadcasting live from Sun and Fun in Lakeland, Florida. Today's show is recorded the week of April 13th, 2016.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy. It's Juliet and he's flying by with the Airline Pilot Guy.
In today's episode, at LAX, two trucks apparently cut in front of a taxiing Frontier flight, leading to this reaction from the pilots.
Both of us are just like, oh, we just slammed on the brake. I'm going to have to call the flight attendants to make sure everybody's all right in the back. It was real close.
And an Icelandair flight reportedly flew below its permitted altitude. Also ahead, more news and your feedback. So get all settled in. Tray tables and seat backs, the upright and locked positions, electronic devices powered on. I'm Radio Roger, and Flight 704 is ready for pushback.
Thank you, Radio Roger. He is an award-winning TV and radio reporter, currently at the number one all-news station in the nation, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in
New York City.
Welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. It's an aviation podcast covering the latest in aviation news and answering your great feedback. I'm Captain Jeff, former U.S. Air Force pilot, retired Delta Airlines captain, live from Sun and Fun in Lakeland, Florida. And joining us from across the pond, though, let's introduce him first. From his Garden View studio in
Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
Retired professional dog photographer, former RAF RAAF fighter pilot, retired Airbus A330, A340 captain for Virgin Atlantic Airways. It's Captain Nick.
Did you call me a retired professional dog?
Yes, he did.
Oh, did I forget the photographer part?
There.
It's because I started reading the script here, and I'm thinking, I don't know what to say.
AJ, I'm going to sort you out. Hello, everybody. Lovely to be back on the show. And, welcome to 704. Now, 704 reminds me of the NASA trials aircraft called the 704, NASA 704, or otherwise the Bell X-14, which was a remarkable aircraft. It was a sort of attempt by the American test people to develop a vertical takeoff aircraft. So they sort of made a Frankenstein here with a couple of Beechcraft wings. They used a couple of British turbojets in it, Vipers, and they slapped an all-metal monoplane around it, open cockpit. It could do a full 180 miles an hour, apparently, and it flew vertically and was controlled by some metal flappers that help direct the thrust produced by the jet engines. It was actually then hijacked by the Apollo pilots who tested or flew it to help prepare them for landing on the moon, because apparently it was about as hard as it got. And so there you go. The Bell X-14 was the 704, the NASA 704.
Fascinating.
Well done.
Thank you, Captain Nick. You must be cold there in England because you're frozen.
Oh, no, really?
Oh, now you've come to life.
He thawed.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to put it down to your styling, I'm afraid.
Well, you can blame me. I don't care.
Somebody walked in front of the receiver.
Yeah. Could be. We have the dish out there in the middle of, I don't know. It could be that people are just knocking it over. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue on with the intros, shall we? Let's see. We're going to push this one here. From the north woods of the Atlanta suburbs, a race car driver, self-taught chef, commercial multi-engine instrument-rated pilot with an interest in anything with enough horsepower to kill him. It's Alpha Juliet.
Hey, Jeff. Glad to be here. Glad to be here with you in Sun and Fun. We made it down okay and having a great time.
Yeah, we have more in our Getting to Know Us segment. We'll talk more about the wonderful flight down from the Atlanta area. We had a blast. And also joining us, I'm just going to keep this same music running. Also here in Sun and Fun, a husband, father, retired U.S. Air Force veteran, Mr. Beast contestant, former airline pilot and now
Winner.
private biz jet captain and biplane rides owner, Armando Carrion.
A little bit later, we're going to tell them about how I'm Richard Gere and you're Julia Roberts, and I took you shopping yesterday so you could accompany me, be my +1 to the gala.
That's true. Stay tuned.
This sounds fascinating.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
a bit worried about you two.
Yeah, well, you should be.
Wow.
Sure. Okay. All right. We're going to talk more about what we're doing here and all that later. But first, I should probably stop that music. And fade all. And
Heard that?
introduce, of course, our producer. From her studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, retired financier and aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master, and our producer curator, Liz Piper.
Just checking. There's no sun here, and I'm having some fun, but not nearly as much as those guys are having.
No way. No way you can
No
have
way.
as much fun.
No
as
way,
that.
Jose.
Okay. All right. Thanks for being available to join us today, Liz, because we're really going to need you, because this is going to be a mess.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. Yeah,
Are
because
you?
Steph's not available to keep things on the
No.
track.
All right.
So. Okay, away we go. I
Let's
guess
do
we'll
some
do
news.
some. Yeah, hang on just a second. Let me remove myself here.
Remove yourself, woman. All right, here we go.
Stand by for news.
We're going to start off the show with a bang. Or a thud.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Something.
Especially with two microphones.
So it's going to be the APG players. I know it may not be your favorite thing to listen to, but it's one of our favorite things to do.
We love it.
Yeah. So I think we're going to start off with. I'm going to be Southwest. You're going to be Tower.
I'm ground.
And you're ground.
Okay.
Is that what we're doing? Okay.
It is now.
Okay. There was something different before, though, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Probably. All right. Okay, so we actually have the real recording of this live ATC audio, but Liz thought it would be better if we reenacted it. So just want to make sure we have all our sound effects ready.
Do you want to
Okay.
give a setup or anything before you jump into it?
Okay,
or-
so yeah, setup would be nice. See, that's why we have Liz. So this happened at the Las Vegas International Airport. Oh, our live audience just showed up.
has joined us.
Wait a minute. We have to show you, give you proof that we have a live audience. Oh, okay.
Scoot over a little bit. Scoot over a little bit.
Yeah.
Right there.
Perfect. Okay. See, there's our live audience.
Supposed to be clapping. Applause.
Oh, yeah.
Applause.
Does anybody have a noisemaker you can blow into? There we go.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you very much, our live audience. I mean, opposing bases, eat your heart out. All right. Yeah. Right? Okay. So let's... okay. So this happened at Las Vegas International Airport, a Southwest flight, taking off to the west, and they're on their initial turnout right after takeoff, and this is where we're going to start our drama and reenactment. Hey, departure, Southwest 568. I'm flying a propeller-powered 737.
I just got dive bombed.
And then I guess, yeah, go ahead. That was probably ATC.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just a little bit of... it was a close call we just had with a Waco, I think. I don't know. What is that?
That's a T6.
Yeah, we just had a close call with the T6. But even more important...
This has already gone off the It was
more,
going so well.
Even more important is that the captain is incapacitated. We have a little captain incapacitation here. We'd like to return.
Southwest 568, clear to Las Vegas via radar vectors. Fly heading 100, climb maintain 7,000, heading 170. Southwest 568, do you need to declare?
No, we'll just take medical priority. Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's just the HUD. The HUD came down and hit him on the head on the takeoff roll. He'd like EMS when we return.
Southwest 568, okay. Let me know when you get a gate and we'll coordinate it with the company.
Wilco. Southwest 568.
Southwest 568, turn left heading 070, vector visual approach.
All right, heading 070, Southwest 568. And then they go around the pattern and they land safely, and they're now on their landing rollout. And then ATC says,
You're ground. You're Southwest.
Oh, ground?
Southwest says.
Sorry, then Southwest says. This is just going so well. We should have rehearsed it. Yeah,
That's fine. This is great.
Southwest 568, Las Vegas ground. Taxi via No, that's the wrong guy. Ground, hello, Southwest 568, clearing runway 26 right. Go on the gate, Charlie 4.
Southwest 568, Las Vegas ground. Taxi via Charlie.
What? Ground. Are you from a different generation or something? What, are we back in the 40s?
Southwest 568, your HF is coming in a little broken, but taxi via Charlie.
Our radial engine's running a little rough. I'm sorry, we couldn't really hear you. Anyway, Charlie to the gate, Southwest 568.
Southwest 568, just had a bit of a question. Somebody wants to know the cause of the head injury.
Yeah, it's the captain's. It's a captain's side HUD came down on the takeoff roll and smacked him pretty hard on the head.
Southwest 568, Roger. Something on the captain's side came down, you said?
Yeah. The heads-up display. You know, it's a big unit. That's what they say anyway. Came down, smacked him on the head, and made him see stars, and he started throwing up.
Oh,
it was awful. It was a big mess.
568, Roger.
And scene.
Ta-da!
How did we do?
I thought it was a good idea.
Should we play the actual ATC audio to hear what it really sounded like?
Let's get the real.
No, I think that should finish with exit stage left, chased by a bear.
Okay, here we go. Let's hear what it actually sounded like.
Hey, departure Southwest 568. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, just a little bit of a captain incapacitation here. We'd like to return.
568, clear to Las Vegas via radar vectors, fly heading 170, climb maintain 7,000.
7,000 feet and heading 170 Southwest 568.
Do you need to declare?
Nah, we'll just take medical priority.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's just the HUD came down and hit him on the head on the takeoff roll. He'd like EMS when we return.
568, okay. Let me know when you get a gate, and we'll coordinate it with the company.
568, welcome.
568, turn left, heading 070, vector visual approach.
All right, heading 070, Southwest 568. Ground hello, Southwest 568, clearing runway 26 right, going to gate Charlie 4.
Southwest 568, Las Vegas ground, taxi via Charlie.
Charlie, you do the gate, Southwest 568.
Southwest 568, just had a question. Somebody wants to know the cause of the head injury.
Yeah, it's the captain's side HUD came down through the takeoff roll and smacked him pretty hard on the head.
Southwest 568, Roger, something on the captain's side came down, you said?
Yeah, the heads-up display, it's a big unit, came down, smacked him on the head, and made him see stars, start throwing up.
Southwest 568, Roger.
There you go. I think ours was better.
I do like our version better.
Yeah, it was
100%.
more believable.
You know,
Much more entertaining.
You know what's great about this is in the initial call up, you can tell the FO is like, do I want to say this on the radio? And I don't know. I wasn't there. We weren't there. But I feel like he's trying not to laugh there when he's talking to ground. He's like, yeah, it's yeah.
So you're not going to believe this, but
yeah, it's kind of embarrassing to tell you what happened? The sound of aviation. That's what we're bringing you here from live at
The
Sun and
ambiance.
Fun.
Did you guys hire those guys just to fly over during?
Yes,
the show?
we hired them, Liz, to fly over just to bring ambiance to
I like
our.
it.
We asked
Can
them
we do
to
that
start
every
at
show?
3:30.
Can we have them at every show? I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
starting to kind of rethink the whole thing. That maybe it's not a good idea. But yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll have a meeting.
All right. Speaking of flying over,
Speaking of flying over, she's giving me a nice cue and segue, and I'm going to find the next thing here. Oh yeah, look at this. This is mostly videos from X, which used to be Twitter. Icelandic pilot under investigation after flying low altitude over the town of Vestmannaeyjar on Saturday.
ding, 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 ding.
Beautiful. Okay, so Sam Dawson sent this to us. I think probably because he wanted to see how I was going to
We
pronounce.
got it from a few people. Actually.
Oh, we got it from a bunch of people. Liz says. Okay, greetings. You'll probably get the story from other sources. Yes, we did. Of course, this one shows a 737 on the page. Yeah. Are you surprised? But at least it's not a Cessna. While the captain probably doesn't care if his license is suspended or revoked.
Neither do those guys either.
This is so rude. So rude. While the captain probably doesn't care if his license is suspended or revoked, the first officer might also face sanctions. The story reminds me of a Northwest Airlines 747 that did a formation flight with a B-24 for the captain's retirement flight. In that case, the company approved the stunt. The FAA was not amused. So we're going to watch the videos, and then Captain Nick is going to chime in because I think he was very excited.
Some thoughts. I think he has some thoughts.
Yeah, he has some thoughts for sure. Okay, so why don't you put the video up and see if I can
from
find.
Vestmannaeyjar, whatever.
Where is it? Thank you. Okay. Okay, so we see a low-flying airplane over an Icelandic village.
By low flying, you mean rooftop height.
Rooftop height. But you know what? We have a better view from inside the aircraft. You want to see that?
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go.
Everybody's got a phone. Oh, that jet sounds like a prop plane, doesn't it?
Over his hometown. Yeah, this airplane sounds like an prop airplane. Yeah, look, that's pretty. Look at how low he is in comparison to the surrounding terrain here. Woo, it's very low.
But it doesn't. The train doesn't really slope up abruptly, so.
And he's being sarcastic.
Yes, it's
Yes,
surrounded
it does.
by vertical cliffs.
It says at the end, a harmless final farewell. Well, I don't know. Or a serious lapse in judgment. What do you think, Captain Nick?
Yes. Okay. Now look, I am a poacher turned gamekeeper on this subject because when I was in the military, it was very common for us to do very low fly pasts for almost any occasion. Sometimes it was formal for a kind of air show or an open day for the base. But a lot of it was just because it was perhaps our last flight on the unit or on that squadron before we were posted away. Sometimes it was just the fact that we'd visited another air base, and it was our way of saying thank you for the hospitality as we departed the next day. So it was extremely common. And some of these flight pasts went well. Others sort of didn't happen because I distinctly remember on one of my tours flying the Phantom, I landed the day before I was due to do my last flight on the squadron, and I was unexpectedly greeted by a whole bunch of the pilots in the squadron with champagne, and the boss was there shaking my hand and wishing me well on my next tour. And I said, well, hang on a minute, I haven't done my last flight. That's tomorrow. And they all looked at me and said, oh, no, it's not. So they apparently the wheels are nicknamed for the bosses, the flight commanders and the boss had decided that they didn't want me to have a last flight just in case it all went wrong, and they effectively grounded me a day early. So that
like they
was
knew you.
my experience. Yes, they knew me very well, obviously. Now look, I did that job for 19 years, and I've told stories about being dragged up in front of people and being carpeted for various acts of ill discipline. But I then left the Air Force and, of course, became a civil airline pilot. Now, it's funny that, isn't it? Because all of a sudden, your sense of responsibility changes. Instead of flying a jet fighter and going around with you on your own, or perhaps a navigator in the back, egging you on, you have a different attitude towards taking risks than you do when you are put in charge of a damn great big airliner, hundreds of tons, often hundreds of people on board who are expecting you to take them as safely as you possibly can from A to B. And whilst I gather there is sympathy for this captain who wanted to display his flying skills for a final time in the aircraft he'd been flying for this airline, I don't really think that this is something that should be encouraged. I feel dreadfully sorry for his first officer, who may well be at the beginning of their career, and now they've got this dreadful black mark because they participated, perhaps unwillingly, we don't know, in this stunt, which, I'm going to say it, endangered the aircraft, the crew, and all the passengers. Because if you're going to do one of these things, if you're going to do a fly past, you need to plan and prepare it properly. You need to review where you're going to do it. You need to check to see what obstacles you might be unaware of. So you're looking at detailed maps to see whether there are wires stretching across a valley, whether there are thin aerials poking up. You set yourself a realistic minimum height. You check the weather to make sure it's absolutely fine for what you're going to do. You set yourself weather minimums, and then with all that in mind, you and your track through this particular over this town carefully worked out so that you avoid all the high terrain and you don't have anything in front of you. You go through the possibilities of the things that might go wrong, like you're going over a seaside town or a town near water where there are a lot of water birds. What happens if you lose an engine? Would you have the climb performance on one engine to get away from the terrain? And if you've done all of that, then at least you can say he had a modicum of safety in the back of his mind when he did this. But this is a stunt. It should never, ever be considered something that is approved or that is allowable. Because if somebody else has a go and they don't do it as well, thinking, well, this guy got away with it, I'm going to do that as well on my last flight. Eventually, someone's going to cock it up, and we're going to have an almighty disaster on our hands. So, no sympathy with this bloke. I think the police should throw the book at him and make him an example.
Yeah, Nick. Even in the military, you had a single seat or a 2-seat background. I come from crew aircraft. I never flew, small single-seaters, and we have a long history in the military. When you give the keys to a $30 million aircraft to a young aviator in their 20s, inevitably there's an outlier that's going to try to do something weird with it, and we have I don't even know countless documented cases of young aviators trying to roll, aileron roll, barrel roll airplanes that are not meant to do that, King Airs, biz jets, things like that. And aside from the extreme something going wrong, fatality thing like that, the taxpayers have given you you're a steward of taxpayer money, and if you bend the frame of an airplane that is 10, 20, 30 million dollars just because you wanted to go, see how it aileron rolls, it's just not a great place to be. And there's a lot of respect and deference to the aircraft commander. So when you're flying in a crew aircraft, the back end crew often just defers to the captain. If the captain is allowing that kind of behavior off the reservation type thing, it's never turns out. I mean, often it turns out with no issue, but it's an issue.
Yeah,
even if it goes well, it's still not helping the problem.
Yeah, it's called airmanship discipline. It's important.
Yeah, and just because it's your last flight, it does not give you carte blanche to spoil what was a fantastic career with the awful things that are going to happen to this bloke, which I suspect are going to happen to this bloke, but also to his first officer, who they're going to wonder why they didn't actively deter him, do something about it. But there you go.
As you can see, the banner scrolling at the bottom of the video is showing that the Thunderbirds, the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds demonstration team, I thought was supposed to start their show around 4 o'clock, right?
They're scheduled for 4 o'clock, but it is the Thunderbirds. So
it is the Thunderbirds. So
yeah, you know what the Air Force are like.
They're marching around and doing all that stuff.
Yeah, they're doing their marching thing. Yeah.
Tight suits. Very tight. Very tight suits.
Yeah. Anyway.
It takes them a second to get up into the cockpit.
Do you want to just carry on, or do you want to?
Yeah, we're going to carry on.
Okay.
Until we are.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're going to Armando. On. Carry on.
Carry on.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I think
that was bad.
Anyway, it was bad, but that's what we do here. Bad comedy. All right, I guess we can move on. I just wanted to throw out a warning to everyone that we might have to pause
when we suddenly go silent. That's why.
Yes. This one is from NBCLosAngeles.com, and we also have some audio to go along with it. But let me set it up a little bit. Here's a pull quote. "We had to slam on the brakes. Frontier Jet has a close call with service trucks at LAX. In a recorded transcript of air traffic control communications, the pilot alerted ground controllers that 2 trucks had cut in front of the aircraft on the taxiway, forcing the crew to brake suddenly." All right, so
half an hour, guys. Half an hour mark.
Let's go ahead and play a little bit of audio so we can hear it. And you don't have to change the screen, Liz. You can just leave it like that. And here we go.
We had 2 trucks just cut us off. We had to slam on the brakes not to hit them.
Who's asking? Is that Frontier?
Yeah, it's Frontier.
At the service road. Frontier, do you have eyes on them? Which direction are they going?
They were going eastbound.
Eastbound, and they're still there next to you?
One turned off, one kept going, I think. One turned left, one kept going straight.
Okay, do you have any markings, company name or anything like that on them?
No, it happened so fast. Both of us were just like, holy shit. We just slammed on the brakes. I'm going to have to call the flight attendants to make sure everybody's all right in the back. It was real close, as close as I've ever seen.
Whoa. A Frontier's airline flight bound for Atlanta from LAX had a close call with service trucks while taxiing Wednesday night in Los Angeles. I think we talked about that just a minute ago. Yeah, so I don't know, really. That's pretty much it. Anything to comment on?
It sounded like they mentioned that they were on a service road, and there's a lot of areas on bigger airports like LAX, Atlanta, Hartsfield, that there are the non-movement area where vehicles and airplanes are both moving around without getting clearance to go where they're going from ground control or any other controlling person or agency, right? So it's sort of there's written rules as well as unwritten rules. So vehicles moving around are required to give way to all aircraft, and they're required to be paying attention. So basically, you see an airplane, no matter what, you let them go first. You don't pull out in front of them, so on and so forth. At the same time, aircraft are looking for vehicles, but there's dedicated places where they're supposed to be. But it's a little bit Wild West. There's no ground controller giving clearance to this airplane and telling this vehicle to hold short and so on and so forth. So it's kind of like coming up to a 4-way yield sign if you're driving your car. You got to be paying attention and just being situationally aware. So.
Yeah, I think most of the time,
places like Las Vegas, Atlanta, you mentioned, there's thousands and thousands of employees, and there's hundreds of vehicles on the ramp out there, and the only training you really get is the slideshow when you're getting your badge and you go through AOA training.
AMA.
Yeah.
Yeah, aircraft movement area.
And then it's up to your supervisors to give you the on-job training and show you the markings, what they look like in real time. So I think this probably happens more often. Maybe not this close, but it probably happens more often than we think.
I can't speak for any other airports, but the AMA training at Hartsfield is actually fairly in-depth. Because they've had some incidents in the past, and they've really tightened the process you have to go through. I'm actually in the middle of going through that process right now, and it's not insignificant, the amount of testing that there is before you're ever given the keys to a car. And you're given the keys to a car with someone with you, just like flight training. You don't just get to solo right off the bat. You're out there with an instructor and a trainer for the first multiple days of your drive, your multiple shifts. So it's a bit to it, but there are plenty of, as we said, outliers, right? So just because they did the training right doesn't mean they're going to act right once they're alone.
No, quite right, guys. Now, I was doing my very first Chicago, and I was taxiing out. It was a really slow taxi because it was slushy and icy after recent snowfall. The big banks of snow everywhere. We got big wings to make sure our engines are clear of the snowbanks, etc. And we've been given a taxi clearance, and as we came out of the ramp, we were cut up by a 737 doing about 50 knots. Now, I'll
Jeff?
give you one guess as to which airline that was.
I have an
Southwest.
idea. Not Delta.
Southwest.
No, it wasn't Delta. No.
Southwest.
What was that? Yeah, Southwest. Absolutely. And I don't know what the hell he thought he was doing, but, it came very close.
He needed rudder authority.
Whistled past us.
I will say, when I was on...
Security just came in.
Oh, gosh. Here we go. Jeff, they're looking for you. When I was in high school, my first job ever was actually working for United Airlines, and I was working the ramp. I was throwing bags and whatnot. And I will say, at big airports, there's the whole Nick, the holding positions in the alleys and the lanes where the gates are. Sometimes airplanes are holding there. The beacon's on, it's running, but ground or company is holding them there, and it is hard to know. Is it going to move? Is it not going to move? Is it going to move? Is it not going to move? Before they get out into the movement area, and especially when there's big delays and things like. As somebody operating a vehicle, often I wondered, is it safe to go? Right?
There's a lot of question marks floating over your head. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but isn't this because of the LaGuardia thing? I mean, everybody's got a heightened sensitivity to it at the moment, right?
It definitely didn't make anything less, for sure. So what happened with LaGuardia was in a movement area, in a controlled area,
right,
with specific clearances. So it didn't change a lot. I don't think that I noticed for the non-movement areas, the uncontrolled areas. The training has remained the same. The kind of the typical, what's the word I'm looking for? The traditional behaviors and things that are expected remain the same.
All right. Anything else before we move on? No.
I think Captain Nick had some comments on C, if you wanted to do C. I think when he saw that, he had some commentary
B?
on that.
C.
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble hearing Liz. Okay.
C.
Okay, got it.
Do you see it?
I do see C. CC, senor.
I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong.
Okay. Which one do you want then?
Oh, no, that is. I'm sorry. You're right. It is C.
So, Liz, you were wrong about being wrong?
I am wrong about being wrong. It's
C.
C. It is C, yes.
Oh, okay.
I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's continue then with this next one from Aviation Break, I guess, BRK. We're still not sure exactly what that stands for. AviationBRK.com. Actually, no. It's on X. I did this the last time we covered something from Aviation BRK. Anyway, NTSB report says that a United Airlines Boeing 737-800 collided with two de-icing trucks at Denver after the jet started taxiing prematurely. That's embarrassing.
It happens to everyone, Jeff.
I know. Having apparently believed de-icing was complete. The aircraft was preparing for a service to Nashville on 6 March when the incident occurred. According to the flight crew statements, they were parked at de-ice pad C, spot C5, while de-icing procedures occurred. The flight crew stated they were engaged in a conversation. When the first officer heard the de-ice team communicate their post-de-ice briefing, the captain was unsure if the clearance was for their flight, but the first officer acknowledged the post-de-ice brief and read back the pertinent details, specifically that all de-ice vehicles were behind the clearance lines. The flight crew conducted the post-de-ice checks and received clearance to taxi from air traffic control on a different frequency. The flight crew began to taxi, and then they felt the aircraft collide with something. The flight crew stopped the aircraft and contacted the de-ice team on the radio. At that time, the flight crew was informed that they had not been cleared to exit the de-ice pad and that they had collided with 2 de-ice trucks. Yeah. Wow. It's not a good thing. And I can see that happening. It's very, very chaotic when you're getting de-iced, and especially places like Denver when you have several de-icing vehicles out there and you have a lot going on the de-ice frequency, and you're also listening on the other frequency, either to your company or ATC ground. And it's easy to get distracted, and it's easy to hear something and think that they're talking to you, and they're really not. So you have to be extra special careful when you're in the de-icing pad and before you start actually moving out of it. And apparently didn't work out so well for this flight.
Here come the Thunderbirds, right on cue.
Here are the Thunderbirds.
Good time.
Yeah.
The main question I had, Liz, was you really want to hear the transcript from the radio communications to see whether they were using standard phraseology, whether they had the formal declaration of post de-icing checks, whether they were all using call signs correctly, because this is the sort of area where a miscommunication can lead to a lot of damage and a threat to life, because these guys on their towered with their big de-icing fluid hoses, they've got a long way to fall if someone bangs into them, and you could easily have severely injured or even killed these guys. So if there's any doubt, there's no doubt. You sit on your hands until you've been absolutely certain that you have got a proper clearance.
Absolutely.
Sit on your hands, not someone else's hands.
I thought you just told me to sit on my hands. What?
It was a hand for you.
Oh, it was in my hand. I don't want to sit on your hand. Not yet. Okay. Let's see. Anything else to say, or should we move on, Liz?
I think maybe that's enough news, don't you think? Yeah, I think we'll go to getting to know us so you guys can tell us about your trip.
Okay, yeah, that'll be more fun than doing new stuff. More fun to talk about ourselves. Yeah. That part of the show. It's that segment of our show that we like to call Getting to Know Us, where we can share what we've been up to between episodes. And I think we have a lot of stuff to share.
We did 1 or 2 things in the past 3 or 4 days.
So how do we want to do this? Yeah, well, do we want to stop for a moment?
Well, the good news is that the Thunderbirds don't do a lot of slow, high alpha flybys, so they're in and out pretty quick through the box.
So we might be able to get some stuff.
I think we can get, especially since some of this is going to be video that we're playing, and
That's
we can
true.
mute during that.
Famous last words.
No idea what you said. I don't know if you know, Armando, there's a jet flying over. That makes it better. Yes, talking to the dead microphone.
It is a 45-minute show.
Oh, really?
There is that.
45-minute show. Oh, great.
Oh, boy.
They can put that much gas in it.
Does that include all the marching around, though?
Yeah,
I don't think it includes
because they
the
probably
marching
had
around.
half an hour of marching.
It's a
It was a half an
5-minute
hour
show with
plus the 45 minutes in the air, so hour 15. Well, we'll see what we can do here.
So far, so good. You're okay.
Okay, so I'll let you start off, AJ.
So we went flying, and we decided to come down to this air show, which you may or may not hear in the background. We jumped to the 206 with Jeff and myself and Mr. Ben Singer and Mr. Stephen Dunn, and piled most all of our worldly possessions in the back of the 206 and took them all down to Sun and Foam. It's a
you know,
sound.
we could turn this into a drinking game. if we had beers every time we have to pause for a jet engine.
Sun and Fun was a drinking game.
Yeah, well, I mean
the whole
thing. Well, last
Okay,
night was.
don't waste the time. between
I'm
these
playing
ones.
already, Armando.
Yeah, Nick's winning.
Go on. Anyway,
anyways.
What day was this that you left?
So we flew down on Wednesday morning. We didn't get here quite as fast as we could have had we brought an F-16, but we could have put more, less stuff. So it's a trade-off. But anyway, yeah, flew down, and ironically, we're delayed in the entry and the arrival into Sun and Fun due to the arrival of the Thunderbirds that we're listening to right now, which are mildly delaying our show. They're just having an effect on us this week, I guess. So we have I think we've got a video clip of our arrival, or one of the incidents that happens to me every single time I fly. If this type of thing doesn't happen, I don't think I can log the flight. So we managed to have a little bird avoidance situation, but the comments made were a little bit interesting, a little bit funny. So here's that.
No side by side, going over take. I don't want to send anybody back. We had a lot of holding here earlier. Woo! Nice. So you're going to fly from Panacea Flight to the Fun Tracks racetrack, then to a point 1 mile east of the North Shore Power Plant. I need you to fly directly over the power smokestack.
I mean, is it a fly without AJ avoiding a bird?
And the biggest thing,
can you even log the time?
GPS.
Can you even log the time?
Or I need you to turn fire.
That's why we had to hold so many times.
Yeah,
we're waiting on the bird to get here.
Now you get the smokestack, rock your wings.
That was the Thunderbird.
There you go. Good rock.
It would have been thunder if we hit it.
Pick up by 4 Southwest. Make sure your gear is down.
We had a nice little quick, would you call that a jink?
Yeah, it was a little jink.
Yeah.
Nothing like that jink
Not a
the
jive.
previous time.
Not a jive,
No.
just a jink.
Yeah, for sure. But birds were called out. We were looking intently for birds because that seems to be a thing that happens when AJ flies airplanes.
I don't know what it is. It's something in my natural musk that brings them out.
It was definitely a Thunderbird. And I don't know if you heard that in the background. I was in the back seat and I went, woo! It was fun. Yeah. So we have more, though.
Yeah. So then we progressed from there. And on the arrival into Sun and Fun, you are basically, you don't talk on the radio. You monitor the frequency. They call you out by your type of aircraft, which we'll see is a good and possibly slightly troubled method of contacting aircraft, but we'll see that in a minute. But in order to respond, when they call you on the radio, you are told to rock your wings. And so we got a little video and the audio of us rocking our wings getting called into the air show.
I got a high wing, half mile east of the stack, rock your wings. Straight to the stack. Great, whoa, that was an amazing rock. I thought you were going to barrel roll it out there. Fly direct to the stack, pick up by 4 Southwest on, and you turn south for the airport prior to the golf course. Keep that off your right side. Sets you up for a beautiful downwind for 10 left. That would be the skinny runway, the one with the dots. When you're west of the lake, monitor the tower on 35.22.5. Welcome to Sun and Fun. And where are you from, by the way?
Atlanta.
Hey, that's where I'm from. I work Hartsfield.
I work right next door at the SRO.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, why don't you make a slight right turn, you 10 to the right, pick up by 4.
Yeah, I went about 450 miles away to get away from the Atlanta controllers, and I ended up talking to an Atlanta controller. What are the odds of that?
Our chat room knew it was an Atlanta controller.
Somebody in our chat room now?
Oh, yeah. Our friend Bravo Kilo here might know that controller. You'll have to connect us, BK. If you've got his contact info, that'd be great.
Nice.
So then after that, once you get cleared in from there, you come into the pattern and they call your downwind turn, they call your descent, and then they tell you when to turn base and your landing clearance. And the landing is not you are cleared to land on this runway, it's you're cleared to land on this particular spot on this runway, and they have different color circles painted on the runway that they'll give you a clearance to land on. So we'll hear that here. And there's also a slight misidentification. We're in a Cessna 206, which is a fairly large high-wing Cessna. And another very common Cessna is a Cessna 172, and they have very similar profiles, not as many windows on the 172, but it's also known as a Skyhawk. And
what is this one, the 206 known as?
206 is known as a Stationair.
Stationair, like a station wagon?
Like a station wagon.
Okay.
Yeah, it acts apropos to the name, yes?
Yeah.
So we'll hear him call us a Cessna, and then you're going to hear him call us a red-tailed Skyhawk. And there was a little confusion for us as to who he was talking about.
Cherokee left base, excellent job. This is the best arrival we've ever seen for today. Go ahead and start that left base all the way back around towards the green dot, land at or after the orange dot. Good job.
Set the bar high.
Cessna over the V-shaped building, turn downwind, start the descent.
Oh, there's the V-shaped building.
Red-tailed Skyhawk, start the descent.
We're going, huh?
Red-tailed Skyhawk, start that left base. Left base, turn all the way back around towards the green dot.
So this should be the guy right in front of us.
Start the left base, turn now.
I don't see him.
Even Ben Cummins.
Come on, Skyhawk,
I don't see
all
him.
the way back around to the left.
He's talking to you.
Base turn all the
We
way
all
back towards
had
the green dot.
almost simultaneous
Good
epiphany.
base turn, aim
he's
for the
talking
green
to
dot,
us.
land at or after the orange dot. High-speed taxi all the way down to the end.
Red-tail Skyhawk was us. Yeah.
So you end up with a very low, not standard geometry pattern. So we're about 45 degrees in back towards the taxiway we're using as a runway.
Yellow Cessna just turned into the downwind, start the descent.
And if you're watching the video, you'll see some big green and orange circles on the taxiway. And those are our spots.
Yellow
that the
Cessna,
players will
good
land on.
job. Turn base now, keep the descent. All the way back around towards the green dot. All aircraft southwestbound on the procedure plan to overfly the cake-shaped water tower and then overfly the
So
V.
if you end up like this on a normal day flying a pattern at a regular airport, it's probably gone wrong. But at Sun and Fun and Oshkosh,
Over the V-shaped building, turn downwind, start the descent. Good job, Yellow Cessna. All the way back around, skinny runway, land at or after the orange dot.
is it too soon to make a comment about making my best impression of Harrison Ford?
Yes. Did you see that the reflection of the orange dot go into the
I
windscreen?
did, yeah.
Perfect.
That was good. Yeah.
It was a very, very nice landing for sure.
It worked out. Blind squirrel, nut. Happens every once in a while. So we arrived. We taxied the 6.5 miles back towards Kissimmee where they had us park, and we got all of our stuff unloaded. Amazingly, they brought us a courtesy shuttle, so we didn't have to bring 400 pounds of gear across the 3 miles of grass and swamp to get back to where our rental car was. But it was overall, I think the arrival went pretty well. I'm sure Armando has some comments on.
No, actually, I have a question.
I have an answer.
So I've never flown the procedure here into Sun and Fun, and so you're supposed to be doing this visually. There's a lot of us that listen to the show that have never done anything like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We hear about the procedure into Oshkosh and Sun and Fun, but so are you looking fully outside? Are you looking at a device? Are you looking at Garmin Pilot or ForeFlight to see the traffic around you?
You are 95% outside. So you are using ADS-B, but Oshkosh and Sun and Fun as well. They have a high attraction for every type of aircraft and a lot of things that don't have electrical systems. So Cubs and
home builds, and things
all kinds of home builds, stuff that doesn't require ADS-B. Ultralights are out there. There's Champs, all these things. Like I said, they don't ever have electrical systems, so they're wavered from having ADS-B. So the only way to see them is by looking out the window. You do have a lot of ADS-B that's become so prevalent, being required in so many places that it's a great tool to have, but you do still have to look out the window. And also your visual points. As you mentioned, this is a visual arrival, so you're told to go to certain points, and you have to look out the window to see them because they do exist in the database. So you can type in the
BP,
fix,
Fantasy, BP Lakes, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So you type in Fantasy of Flight or Lake Parker or one of if the arrival gets really busy, my favorite fix out here is called MNO. It's middle of nowhere. Go to the middle of nowhere. Start there. Okay. It's kind of a fun sentence to say to somebody in an airplane. So,
would you recommend people do it with another pilot, with another set of eyes?
Absolutely. At minimum, another pilot, another set of eyes in the airplane is absolutely a huge thing. Trying to do it solo. I've flown into Oshkosh single pilot, and you are very busy. You're a one-arm paper hanger. You got a lot going on. Yeah. So, having another pilot is fantastic. Ideally, if it's your first time especially, have someone who has done the arrival because they're going to be a lot calmer, a lot less task saturated. They're going to know what's about to happen and be able to help guide you through that. Even if they're just along for the ride, have them there as that resource for sure. Yeah.
I was supposed to fly down here. We'll talk about that in a second, but I actually practiced the arrival as soon as the NODEM came out on Flight Simulator. right? Which is pretty good, photography.
Great visuals.
Photogrammetry, right? So you can see that V-shaped building. You can see the middle of nowhere. You can see the Fantasy of Flight airstrip. But, sitting here talking to you, I was going to do it for the first time ever by myself in an open cockpit biplane with no... I can't have a phone or an iPad out. So it was going to be all visual and by myself for the first time. So maybe not, huh?
It can be done. It's a big task for sure. So yeah, it's
good.
Yeah.
It's good for APG world. Everybody should do it. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Just read the directions.
You would have nailed it. But Tanya asks in our live audience, this is the same procedure as Osh, right? Oshkosh?
It is similar. Same concepts as far as you monitor the frequency, you rock your wings to respond. You don't actively call air traffic control to say, hey, I'm here, I'm inbound. You fly in, they pick you out with binoculars, they call you out, they tell you to rock your wings. That part is the same. The procedures themselves, the holding patterns and procedures they have up there are very different. They have multiple runways. They're crossing runways, so there's multiple ways to approach that airport. They've got parallels and a crossing runway, so it can be even more complicated. But Oshkosh puts out a fantastic notice, and with text description, visuals, maps, everything you can imagine. So the biggest pitfall that people run into flying into Sun and Fun or flying into Oshkosh is that they don't read the directions. Read the notice, understand the notice, put it under your pillow the couple nights before you fly down. Just really, really know that notice backwards and forwards. And the procedure is not that hard. If you're trying to read the directions as you're approaching the airport, it doesn't go well. And many of you have found those videos on YouTube or those reels on Instagram that are that pilot that, do you have the notice? Oh, no, I forgot it back at the airport. And they're the ones that get blasted all over the internet because they just didn't read the directions.
When we were coming in,
they're getting closer.
That was what you sounded like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it worth the extra money to have them fly the Thunderbirds while we did the show?
I was not aware that they would be that loud, and next time we'll reconsider the whole thing. But when we were coming in, there was a pilot that was having a discussion with air traffic control, and I think he said something like,
It sounded like he had been turned away from the arrival. He had attempted to come in, and they said, "Yeah, why don't you go land at one of these other airports a couple miles away and see if you can pull the NOTAM up on your phone or on your iPad. Why don't you read that and then try and come back?"
And when he did, he said, the ATC guy said, "So did you have a chance to look at the procedure
at the notice and understand it a little bit better?" But this is one thing I will say: the ATC, all the guys that come down here are all volunteer. They are being paid, but they are volunteering. They put their names up to come to these air shows. So they put their name in the hat. They apply and they get accepted, and then they go through training. And that's a whole nother. We can do a whole show on how the ATC is selected to do these air shows. But they are fantastic. They will accept these guys. They will get these guys down on the ground safely. They're not. They don't get angry. They don't get worked up about it. They don't get upset. They just go, you know what? We'll take you as you come. We're going to get you where you need to be. We're going to do everything we can to help you. And it's really amazing how patient they are. Because I couldn't be that patient if I was that controller dealing with the guy who didn't read the directions. No, go away. Get out of my problem.
Yeah, they're very good. They are very reassuring and making it as laid back as they can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. Jordan says, are controllers from JFK prohibited?
Yes, flatly. For Sun and Fun, they actually pull from the southeast to start with, and then they start expanding out. I don't think they've ever gotten that far.
So I was actually at the NATCA tent. They were doing a safety talk, and three of the controllers that I know, one is from Chattanooga, one from Savannah, and one from Charlotte. So I think they're more kind of southeast, bless your heart friendly.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, Oshkosh, you'll get a few more from the northeast and the northern part of the country, but they're all still that same kind of attitude, that same really relaxed, really helpful. So
sweet. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was a blast. Yeah, I'll let you continue on with our activities for the week.
Oh well, I mean we arrived and flashed up the card that says where we're going to be parking. We were going to Gap. I don't know. I was looking for the Gap. I didn't see it. Oh, it stands for General Aviation Parking, I guess. And so we ended up out there, and then AJ looks out and he goes, "What the heck are all these loud jets doing here?" No, he didn't do that. He goes, I think that where we have to pick up our rental car is like a couple miles away from where we're parked.
We went to the place where the rental cars were, but not our rental car. Our rental car was in a different rental car lot, even though it was the same company
You had a
at the same
special
airport.
rental car.
So, yeah, we had to go not only the 2 miles to that place, but then the 4 miles circumnavigating the entire airport to get over to the main terminal.
Yeah. Well, we got there eventually. We got the car, got a Kia Soul, and
We did have a couple other options. Do you remember what the other options were?
like 3 other Kia Souls.
Yeah, he said, well, I might have something bigger. Let me see. He goes, I've got a Kia Soul, or I've got a Kia Soul, or I've got a Kia Soul. I said, why don't we just take the Kia Soul?
Very decisive. So that's what we ended up with. We packed up that thing, and then what did we do after that? We ended up going to eat something, I think. Didn't we? At the crab restaurant, seafood?
Yeah, that's right. We went to Mr. and Mrs. Juicy Crab.
Mr. and Mrs. Juicy Crab. I think we actually saw that couple at the gala. Yeah.
That could have been a title
We'll get to
there.
that story in a moment. Grab something to eat, and then jetted our way back to Comanche Town.
Yeah, we just hung out, drank a lot of beer.
A lot.
And then we watched the night show. That was Wednesday night. So
That was
it was
the
a
night
air show.
Which is phenomenal. They do a night air show on Wednesday and on Saturday. Fireworks, drones are everywhere. They attach tremendous amounts of explosives and fireworks to airplanes. And unlike the military, who removes the explosive big boom thing from the airplane and then makes it go boom, these guys like to make it go boom and keep it attached to the airplane. So there's sparks and fireworks that are attached to the aircraft as they're flying around doing loops and rolls and all kinds of maneuvers. It's absolutely phenomenal to see. So if you've never seen a night air show, absolutely find a way to go find a night air show.
And it was very, very similar to what you would see at Oshkosh. The night,
Yes, very similar.
Night air show there.
A lot of the same performers attend both events.
Yeah, so that's what we did on Wednesday. Let's see, yesterday was Thursday. And we kind of made our way here mid-morning, and then
After the trip back to Orlando for Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, so, and I'm not complaining, but AJ ended up getting us a very nice B&B. It works perfectly for us.
It's very nice by central southern Florida.
Yeah, it was a very nice double wide trailer, and but really for a double wide trailer, it's very nice.
It's actually it is quite well appointed.
I just hope there aren't any tornadoes while you guys
no
are
tornado.
staying there.
Yeah, I don't think we looked at the weather, and I think we're going to be okay. Yeah. But there's nothing nearby, so to get coffee in the morning, it takes some time. But we got some coffee and some.
We're getting some signals. The Thunderbirds may be wrapping up.
Our field reporters walked back in and said they're at the end of the show.
The problem is we have to choose between having field reporters or an audience. That's you guys. So where were we? We were on the way to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, we did the thing and got the coffee, and we finally made it over here back to the Sun and Fun
Expo
show,
Aerospace
Air
Expo.
Yeah, and
this is Thursday morning now, yeah.
Thursday morning. Yeah,
This is Thursday lunchtime
Well,
at this point.
but now, yeah, it's kind of midday at this point.
Okay.
And we ended up meeting. Richard Brooks, APG community member. We met him at the at a beer tent. I think we would call that the beer tent.
That would be the beer tent.
Yeah, and then some dude. I don't know. You may have heard of him. Armando Carrion.
Oh, this is
Carrion, Armando.
We start the story at the beer tent.
It's appropriate. Very appropriate.
Well, so hold on. We start the story by I texted Armando and I said, "Hey, did you make it to Sun and Fun?" He goes, "Yep, I'm at the beer tent." And I went, surprised.
Yeah, that's it.
So then we both went kind of this way, and we went over here and tried to meet him, and he came over here to try to meet us, and then we went back, and then we went back again.
I mean,
and then he had to go back to work.
Yeah. This is all new to me, and I'm learning how to navigate having to do engagements. So I came down to Sun and Fun courtesy of a couple of sponsors with everything that's happened in the last year. So I am very much learning how to navigate like hitting appearances and times and doing meet and greets and signing autographs for 15-year-olds. While like this is actually my first Sun and Fun, so I'm trying to enjoy
Still
the show
watch the airplanes going
around. But I'm just walking around with a Sharpie in my pocket and some stickers that Jeff's. I give young deserving little boys stickers. So it's interesting. My Sun and Fun experience is a little bit different because I wanted to fly my Waco down, but being the previous owner had the annual in April. Let's not pan the camera down. So the previous owner had the annual in April, which is a terrible time for an open cockpit biplane.
It's the worst time
flying time. So I knew in the back of my head, I was like, I don't think it's going to be done in time for Sun and Fun. And I was trying to tell my maintenance team, I was like, I don't want to rush you, but I'm supposed to leave on Tuesday for Sun and Fun. And then Monday came and they said they, needed a widget from the factory, but all the factory guys are here, right? Literally the parts guys we had dinner with last night at the gala. So nobody's in Battle Creek, Michigan to answer the phone to get parts. So I knew it. So I flew commercial down, got a rental car in Orlando, came down, and it has been really interesting for me to navigate. Jeff's been famous for years and years and years and gets roses thrown at him as he walks the streets of Sun and Fun. But it's fun. It's fun. The whole reason I did the last year was to kind of bring aviation to people that wouldn't otherwise, right? So it's mostly kids. And I've been doing some pretty cool meet and greets and getting to shake hands and kind of be on the periphery of that whole YouTube thing. So, yeah, I did, meet and greets at Flying Eyes Optics and Waco Aircraft because Waco Aircraft is it's an older demographic, right? to be fair, right? It's a great
right in.
It's a great air. I did try to get him to buy a Waco, a Great Lakes, or a Junkers. But yeah, exactly. That's you. No, I'm just kidding. So I think they're excited to have somebody that has like this YouTube social media presence be a Waco aircraft owner because it injects a little bit of youth into their brand. And it was fun today to talk to ROTC cadets and young Eagles that are walking around here and say, yeah, man, I was the guy from Mr. Beast, but also my dream airplane is this airplane right here. And it's a 1933 design made out of wood and fabric. And the kids, they're like, what? It's made out of wood and fabric? And then you show them, they have this great display inside that you guys saw of a wing opened up. And it's like, Jeff was in there getting the whole spiel. And it's like 3 people that have worked at the factory for 30 years. And one guy does the wings and the wing ribs, and one lady does the fabric, and one guy does the paint. And they've been there for years and years. So it's pretty cool to expose the young kids to that. And that has been mostly my Sun and Fun experience, just kind of running from engagement to engagement, which is fun. It's new for me.
It keeps you busy, though. Keeps you out of trouble.
Did you guys go out for dinner last night? Yeah?
Yeah. Waco is a title sponsor of Sun and Fun, and we had tables down. They had invited me to go to this gala, which was a blast. Jeff can tell you about some of the fun parts of it, but I actually asked them, hey, can I get a +1?
Can I bring a date?
Can I bring a date? And as much as we want to advertise the APG show, and he had his Acme shirt on, I was like, hey, Jeff, do you have a collared shirt? Because this is a pretty high-end gala inside the Florida Air and Space Museum, or the Florida Air Museum. So
we at the end of the show, Sun and Fun, all the vendors close at around.
This is the Julia Roberts thing. Okay.
Yeah, they close. All the vendors close around 5 p.m. and I think at 4:57 p.m. we ran into the nearest vendor that had a collared shirt, which was Textron, and I was like, Jeff, I will literally buy you a Beechcraft shirt right now if you will throw it on in the car, and then you're my plus one for this gala.
Textron Textiles. Yeah, good.
Yeah, Textron Textiles, exactly. So Jeff can take it from there, but it was really fun.
Oh, it was. Yeah, as you said,
it's a charity event.
Got right in, right right before the bell rang.
Just under the wire.
Just under the wire, and so got my collared shirt. I mean, I brought collared shirts, but they were all at the B&B, which is like 2 hours away or something. It was not quite. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but so yeah, just a little bit. So it was Armando's plus one, and we went over to the gala bash auction, all that kind of stuff. And I know, did you want to play the video of the auction where the
I think we could just talk about it.
Yeah, it's probably best to talk about it. Yeah.
I think we need to discuss with our field reporters what nearly finished means.
Yeah.
I think nearly finished is they were finished and they wanted to come back into air conditioning.
Yeah, so...
we're at this charity event. It's for the Florida Air Museum, which has got a great mission, again, for summer camps and kids' schools. And there's actually a high school here at the Florida Air Museum that kids go to high school on Lakeland Airport, and they are 100% immersed. Their dorms are even in here, and they are 100% immersed in aviation. So this was a charity event for them. And there was some pretty significant prizes. I mean, there were getaways to Aspen and Telluride and fishing trips with the weather woman
Amanda.
Those did Jeff bid on?
Yeah.
I wanted Jeff to bid on something, and I almost raised his paddle. But so the craziest part is there was this one item that came up for auction, which was a morning ride along with Sheriff Grady, the Polk County Sheriff. We're in Polk County right now, Florida. And I think everybody at the table just kind of looked at each other.
Grady Judd.
Yeah, we were kind of like, oh, how sad,
Yeah, and we were like, oh, well, they just gave away a trip to Aspen. Is he really, Liz?
Yeah.
Oh.
Really famous. Like he's Mr. Law and Order. Oh my God, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Is he on TV or something?
No. He has these press conferences and he's like Judge Judy. Like he says all sorts of politically incorrect and you gotta look him up.
Opportunities.
Oh my God.
This is now making more sense.
Yeah, it's making a lot more sense because we were going they were starting the bids at like as much as that wonderful Aspen.
It was
5-star.
Aspen was like $1,000 opening bid.
No.
Yeah.
I know him up here in the Great White
Liz is
North.
saying she knows. She knows
this is blowing our minds right
we
now.
don't never heard of him.
Oh
and,
yeah.
And so they started bidding, and what did they ended up with? I think 27,000.
Sheriff Grady, along.
Grady Judd is his
Grady
last name.
Grady Judd. Yeah.
It went up to $30,000 for a morning ride along, and it was this bidding war between two individuals, and they said, well, will both of you do it for $27,000? And they both said yes. Out of all these vacations, these amazing things, that a ride along with the sheriff was the highest bid.
And Armando and I were just looking at each other like, what is going on? I don't understand what's happening here.
Well, thank you, Liz. That makes much more sense.
It does make more sense now. I thought, how
Jeff,
can he
I just
possibly
sent you
be
a
famous?
text.
Oh, okay. Liz said she sent
sorry.
you a
This
text.
is about Grady. I cut off the beginning, but
Okay, sheriff with his tell it how it is demeanor. 2006, after a traffic stop resulted in a deputy and his canine dog shot and killed. Deputy shot and killed the suspect, shooting him 68 times. Oh, wow.
Thanks, Liz.
That's a little overkill.
And Grady came out and said something like, they had to use all their bullets or something I don't know, like he just is really out there.
All right.
Wow.
I think I actually remember that story. There was the quote was something like, "Why did you have to shoot the suspect 68 times?" He said, "Because we ran out of ammo."
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Exactly.
Okay, now it makes perfect sense.
Well, anyway, so that was the highlight of our night, and then we went out with our field reporters and AJ out for beers afterwards, after going to a gala.
Yeah, at the Brass Tap. Anyway, the food, the food was amazing at this
at the gala,
this gala, and
tomahawk steaks and whatnot.
Yeah,
shrimps,
really good.
Come on, yeah, it was great. I was happy to have Jeff as my date for the night.
Yeah, it was fun. He's a good date.
Sounds fun. Sounds fun, boys.
Yeah. So Megan, if you're watching, his wife, I see what you see in him. Yeah.
She loves you. You know that.
I know. Okay.
He's just fishing for compliments now.
All right, move it along. What did you do today?
What did we do today? Well, we
this, mostly this.
Yeah, setting up, checking out, figuring out. Are you out of here? Oh, okay.
He's headed for the snack table.
Oh, I see. I thought he just got up. I'm thinking, okay, that's it. He's made his appearance. He's out of here.
Catering has set out this really nice spread for us over here. We've got chips and cookies and
for APG. They said this is for it's reserved for APG, and there's all kinds of great catering.
I can't believe with this huge audience we have, there's still some food left. Yeah. To be fair, we didn't really advertise this at all, and we wanted it to be more of an intimate.
We did. We gave everybody at least 25 minutes notice.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have some audio you need to play before we move to Captain
Oh,
Nick?
yes, we do have some audio to play. Let's see here. We received this very recently from a couple of our APG community members and also podcast celebrities of their own. And they are having a meetup, and I'm trying to navigate over to the proper note so that I can play some audio that they sent in regarding their meetup, and I'm going to let them do all the talking.
Hey, Captain Jeff and crew. This is Brian and Micah from Airplane Geeks and the Journey is the Reward podcasts.
And you know how we always think of all our podcasts as a family and how much we love each other and get along and love to visit? Well, we're going to have a meetup. The Journey is Reward and the Airplane Geeks together are going to have a meetup. And we wanted to invite the APG community because we love you guys too.
Since we're all one big happy family, why not?
Exactly. So on Sunday, May 17th at 4 p.m., we're having a meetup on the east coast of New Jersey, of all places. Why? Because Brian's wonderful mother is having her 91st birthday.
Yeah, and there's a really good chance that Max Flight from Airplane Geeks will be there. Micah, of course, you will be there. I will be there. And hopefully a whole bunch of Airline Pilot Guy people will be at Charlie's Pizza Restaurant and Pub.
There's even a chance, if his health recovery is going really well, David Vanderhoof might make an appearance, and boy, would we love to see him.
Absolutely. So come on out and join us at the meetup.
Hope to see you there. Sunday, May 17th, 4 o'clock at Charlie's Pizza Restaurant and Pub, 1980 Route 37 West in Manchester Township, New Jersey. Bear in mind, it's a strip mall, so you have to pull into the strip mall first to find the place. But Brian says it's good, and I trust Brian.
And at least it's not a strip club. Wait, we might get more people to show up if it is.
That sounds interesting.
All right. That's a good one. All right, yeah. So if you're in the east coast of New Jersey,
Charlie's Pizza,
check it out. We'll have the information
we'll play it
in our
a
show
couple
notes.
more times before
Yeah,
the
we'll
event.
we'll be able to play it a couple more times before the actual meetup. So hopefully we'll get some APG representation at the meetup.
Tanya, we're looking at you.
Tanya, she said, "We're looking at you." Okay, there we go. All right, so we've
Sounds great, guys.
There we are,
Have
then.
a good,
There we
have
are.
a good flight home tomorrow.
And so, yeah, so to wrap it up as far as the getting to know us is concerned, at least for our portion, yeah, we're still here at Sun and Fun. We'll end the recording, pack everything up, and then probably drink some more beer and probably get some more good food.
At least 10 or 12.
10 or 12, yeah, each. For sure. And then tomorrow morning we'll be, I don't know, how early are we leaving tomorrow morning? Back to
5:30?
Okay, great. That's not true. I know AJ, and
stay
he's
up
not
all
going to get up that early.
I would say an early brunch.
Okay, that sounds good. Anyway, so we're going to head back to Atlanta tomorrow. So this has been a lot of fun and a different experience for me because I'm so used to driving the RVS. But it's been fun, experiencing the actual airplane thing and flying in and doing one of these special arrival
Like the
procedures. It was a lot of fun.
aviation thing. I love
Yeah,
it.
an aviation thing. Yeah, love it. Anyway, so Captain Nick,
Captain
are you
Nick,
still
is he
awake?
still awake? Yeah.
Wake up! Wake up!
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was having a little sizz there. Yeah, I was having a lovely dream as well.
Oh, really?
About being
Ooh.
taken.
About us?
No, I was being taken to a gala, and I
Oh.
was eating fantastic food. And yeah,
Actually,
Nick, haven't they gone yet?
hang on, Nick. Actually, I would be more than happy to take you to a gala because I will be at the PTUK 600th coming up. So I hope
cool.
that you will be my plus one on May 20th May 22nd at the Duxford Air Museum. So
Shameless
Yeah,
plug.
definitely.
Shameless
I'm
plug.
going to be there.
If you don't show up in your tuxedo, sir.
Oh, you want me in a tax? Oh, give me a break. This is England, you know. Hey,
He's
so
dumping me
what
already.
have
Just one date.
That was
That's
quick.
It. I know. It was a very short-lived.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a sucker for an accent.
I'm sure you are. Sucker is the key word there. All right.
Oh boy.
I'll
Sorry.
keep this short because this
that's
is
what
a
we've heard.
podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aviation as well. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is Patonk, because it's kind of the beginning of the season and all the league matches are being played. Drove an hour out to Winchester to be beaten by some team of drunks in a pub called the Ship Inn, and then came home again. In fact, my little bunch of guys, we were the only ones that won a game all night. Everyone else was beaten, so that was a bit of a disaster. However, we made up for it today because we played our second game today. And funnily enough, it was against another team from our same club. We've got more than one team in these leagues. And we delighted by absolutely pounding them into the gravel, and they'll never recover from that. So I'm still wearing. I rushed back. I'm still wearing my orange shirt, my play shirt. What was that, Armando?
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Ah, very good. Yes, my orange garb that we wear.
Very nice.
Orange and black, strange colours.
So you trounced them on the terrain.
We did. We had lots of fun. Now, a little bit of tech here, because I've been doing a few purchases. Now, I don't know. I've got a wallet, and I used to have an AirTag in it. Now, I'm not someone who says this lightly, but I was looking for a replacement. And I found it in this, I think it's an American company makes these, Momax. Now, there are lots of credit card size ID tags for so you can track your wallet and things, but very few have the UWB capability that Apple AirTags have. UWB ultra wideband. That's what gives you the 10 centimeter accuracy you need to actually find out which bag or which coat it's in when you've really lost it, and it gives you very accurate directions. But this one by Momax, called it's the PIN Card Ultra. I can thoroughly recommend it. It's got wireless recharging, lasts a year, and isn't expensive in my opinion. But there you go. Now, what else we got? Here we go. Next time I do a video to put on, I've got a new bit of kit to help illuminate things. And these are fantastic. These are inflatable lighting systems. And this one happens to be made by Newer, but there are other manufacturers. And I was thoroughly impressed.
Isn't this a scene from Star Wars? I think I've seen this. This is the low rent version of Star Wars, right? Like you're like this. You're like the Sith Lord right now.
Your lightsaber seems a bit flaccid.
I was giving them a compliment, AJ. I like the scene.
Apparently, we're under a bit of time pressure here, so producer's given me the wind up signal. Okay, so that's it from me, except for, of course, the cover art. Now I had heaps of very good suggestions But the one I really wanted to do for last week's cover art was this chap who had his engine failure, and he said his oil pressure was trending, and I wanted to combine it with AJ's joke about a blown seal. Now, if you haven't heard AJ's blown seal joke, catch him when he's had a few beers, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to tell you. We were talking about pilots with beards and saying, well, if you had to go clean-shaven and you liked a beard, you could always put a false one on, so we had to make a false one in there. But also, of course, we were talking about the jet bridge accident where a jet bridge was driven into an aircraft. So we had, I think it was Tim's idea of a jet bridge driving school with a one-eyed jet bridge driver looking a bit like a pirate, trying to catch his false beard that had flown off. Meanwhile, of course, we were talking about little airplanes with big engines, or big aircraft with little engines, and we've got on this one a little airplane,
very large engine,
big engine, very large engine,
very large. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was all combined. Now, if you want to get the details, all right, we've got the seal. We're talking about a blown seal, seal eating ice cream. There's the seal. I guess it's a circus seal because it's got a ping pong ball on its nose, which I thought was rather good. And what else have we got from that? We haven't had the show number yet, so let's go to the next one.
There's the logo.
Oh, yeah, there's the logo. And for those of you who go, that's not the logo, yes, you're quite right. It's half a logo. So I like to keep you guessing. And what else we got there? There's one more to come.
Yeah.
There we go. And the show number? That's it. You can find it just above the cockpit there. So 703. And that was our show.
The jet bridge didn't destroy the show number. That's good.
Yes, well, the jet bridge did not destroy everything. So hope you enjoyed that. And we'll look forward to catching you again next week.
As usual, always great artwork from our great artiste, Captain Nick. And yeah, sorry to rush. What's happened while we were recording the show here, one of the ladies that's running this media center looks at us and says, 5 minutes. And we're going, huh? I never considered the fact that this place closes at 5 o'clock. It is actually past 5 o'clock now. And this is something unexpected completely, which means that we're going to have to at least end the show. You'll probably hear me come back and wrap things up before I publish this thing, hopefully on Monday or early next week. But sadly, that's all we're going to be able to do for today's show, and we're not going to be able to cover any feedback. Armando says bye-bye. We enjoyed having him on, and I'm going to enjoy more time spent with him, and AJ and Ben and Steven and anybody else we see here. We're going to have a lot of fun here. But that for now, we're going to have to wrap it up. So sorry about that. Love you guys, and we'll see you again on next week's show. Bye.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the airline pilot guy.
Good day.
I used to be such a good pilot till I started APG. I opened doors for little old ladies. I helped them to their seats. Airline pilot guy, I fly America. Oh, airline pilot guy, he can land in heavy fog. I got no friends 'cause I'm always flying. I just don't have the time. But I can land this old plane. I can land it just fine. Airline